think, for that film. That was a pretty emotional one to start off the festival with, so that was absolutely lovely. So, if you want to introduce yourselves first, I mean, we'll start here.
Hi, my name is Conor Norris, and I was the producer.
Conor Tobin, I was the DOP.
Saul Carrol, I was the shopkeeper.
The Connell, I'm the director.
Hey, I'm O Connel and I'm the director, and we're all co-writers as well, you know, our backstories and everything. Just check the mics, I think they might be working now. Yeah, I think most of them are.
Lovely. So, how did the whole idea start? Take it from the top. Who originated the idea? Where did it come from? Where was the inspiration?
So there's a guy called Ray Malloy back in 2017 came to me with a script called Sherry Trifle, and it was very different from the film we saw there. So he wanted to play the lead, and called Bert, I think was it. So it was Baz, and then we changed it to Bertha. And so we couldn't get funding, we couldn't make it, and so then he went off to London. He's an actor, and he said, keep the script and do what you want with it. And I said, oh, okay. So I made some changes. And I always worked with, like I volunteered with RADE, and so I kind of had in mind it might be a nice one to do with them. So then in July 2024, I submitted it to Jill at RADE, gave the idea of maybe working with RADE to make it. And so then I started doing acting workshops from July 2024, did them about twice a week, thereabouts. And then we shot it in March 2025.
Could you tell us a little bit about RADE? Maybe just give a bit of background.
Oh, sorry,
Either one of you? Go for it. Go for it.
Karen. Yeah. Here, we sit up here, and I'm
Yeah, it'd be nice to hear a little bit about RADE, because it sounds like a fantastic idea, and you've got a great product there. So, plug the organisation.
Yeah. So we're RADE. So we are an addiction recovery day program that really uses creativity, as the vehicle to recovery. So we're kind of a mix of workshops in filmmaking, theatre, art, and then we have kind of recovery, relapse prevention workshops, and a lot of kind of holistic embodiment workshops. So it's a real kind of unique project. A lot of our work is kind of self-made, and then we do kind of these things, like we do exhibitions. We really kind of like to get out there and kind of change the narrative around addiction, and share stories that often don't get, and they're often not in media in the same way. So yeah, that's. We were started in 2004 by Mick Egan, and we're based in Dublin 8. Yeah.
That's great, Jill, because I mean, there's a lot of talk nowadays about theatre and acting being therapy, and like that's quite evident through that film. It's fantastic kind of medium for people to explore themselves. And
I suppose it's in life in general we can all kind of get very locked in our stories and kind of one narrative around ourselves. And when we're being creative, when we're playing different parts, it's reminding ourselves that there's so many different parts to us. And whatever our addiction is, whether it's to a substance, whether it's to a way of being, it's really powerful then to kind of start to see that actually, no, that's not the only way I can be. So it's, while we're not our therapy, there can be something really transformative around being creative. So that's kind of how it works in many ways. And it feels like it's a really powerful project, and we do really great work, and it has really benefited people through the years.
Definitely, yeah, that's it. Could you tell us about your role and your part in it?
Oh my God, I was literally I was not on my own treatments, and my mom asked me to do it, and I was so nervous like I am now.
We all are. Don't worry. And we're all friends here. So we're all a bit nervous. It's a kind of it's all part. But myself and Mo were talking about nerves earlier, weren't we?
Yeah.
It's kind of just something we all have.
They're healthy.
Yeah, I mean it's healthy.
Yeah, how do you not doing that? Kind of like help me not stop doing that. Like it constant wise, and then back.
Yeah.
I remember those times there, I was sitting on my own, kind of, like you had to go to me a few times, and I think I come off nervous in it, but yeah, I was because it's like my story is like it was written for me, not the exact thing. To show you something in addiction can mean so much by getting a TMR or whatever, so yeah.
And was it your very first time acting?
Yeah,
You're a round of applause. Well, that is incredible, because a lot of people spend their entire life saying, "Oh, I'd love to act in something," you know. But you've done it. Well done. So, like, how did it feel? I mean, your very first time. Obviously, you were nervous. Like, everybody would be.
Yeah. Just looking at it now, like seeing it. Well, just I wasn't, to be honest with you, after doing it, I wasn't expecting to be so emotional and having died and everything.
Well done, well done. And yourself, so you were playing the shopkeeper?
I was playing the shopkeeper, yeah, so it was, it's very easy transition because it's shopkeeper, it's originally from South Africa, I am already as well, so it was kind of easy to transition into that character. But, you know, the opportunity to do the film was incredible because it really is an opportunity to express yourself in ways that you probably wouldn't have, before, you know. And that's what RADE's really about as well. You know, it's an opportunity for us to express ourselves through the activities we do and get to rediscover ourselves almost.
It's actually kind of emotional hearing about that, because I think every family in Ireland has been touched by addiction in some way. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows that. You know, there's addiction, particularly, you know, alcohol is a huge thing in Ireland, and I think there's no family in Ireland that hasn't been touched by it. So to see something where people are challenging it in a very public way and to overcome the challenges is just fantastic. It's inspiring stuff. So well done.
Thank you.
Conor, tell us, so you were the DOP in the project?
I was.
Yeah. So tell us about it. Conor always works his magic on every project he does, so well done to Conor for He's even videoing this entire festival as well. But so, Conor, tell us about the process that you went through. It's very beautifully shot.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's such a unique project in lots of ways, you know. You know, like RADE participants, you know, brought so much of their own experiences as well and everything, and that was amazing, you know. And then just the different styles, like there was so much kind of different types of camera work involved, which is great. You know, it's such a mix. You know, it's such a kind of, it's like a Sherry Trifle. You know,
it's actually. Do you know, when I was looking at it, I was thinking there's a bit of a metaphor here with the Sherry Trifle. And
yeah, because you know, like we have lovely kind of gimbal work, and then we have like lots of handheld, and we have change of ratio, and we have like slap down shutters, and you know, Mo kind of you know, wrote, the guys came up with their own backstories, and then that was incorporated into the movie as well. So we had all these flashbacks and stuff. It was yeah, it was cool. Like, you know, like Sherry Trifle with like hundreds of thousands sprinkled on top of all different colours. You know,
lovely metaphor. I love it. I loved particularly the last scene is very emotional. There was a lovely lighting there. Who did the lighting, or was it yourself?
Yeah, it was just
Gaffer yourself.
Yeah, yeah. It was a bit kind of more saturated than the actual one. But you know, it's still, you know, like kind of, we were going for kind of this kind of evening golden light for that kind of her mini epiphany, I suppose, you know, of like, you know, that she's going to you know, change. So yeah.
Lovely. And I'll get out of the way here because Tara, I'm kind of blocking you. Tara, you were the producer.
Yeah.
So tell us about it. I mean, it was a lovely piece of work, but behind all the art, you have to bash it together and actually get it done, schedule it, get permissions, all that kind of thing. How did you find that whole process?
Well, the thing is, what people don't realise is, for example, the Sherry Trifle, we actually had 5 Sherry Trifles.
I was wondering.
Manning's in Thomas Street were fantastic. People were incredibly generous to us, especially when you explained that, you know, explained about RADE and everything. So Manning's gave us the 5 free Sherry Trifles, but then we did a little bit of reshooting a bit later, so we had to get 2 more Sherry Trifles. And I just want to say, Natalie, you did an amazing job. God love you. She had obviously the Sherry Trifle on her face, and her coat towards the end was getting manky, because of that right there, with all the Sherry Trifle on it. And we had to keep using the same coat, obviously, and we couldn't clean it because it had to have the same stains on it. So it sort of like it was slightly smelly towards the end. But I mean, one of the things was that most of it was exterior shots and around Thomas Street and the back of Dublin 8, so there's lots of lovely murals there. But when we were in Thomas Street, the trouble is, Thomas Street is quite a busy street, so you get people onlookers who are really kind of nosy and everything. And I was really worried that the bit, where you're doing your chase, I thought, oh, for the love of God, I hope nobody's going to be a bloody hero. I was really worried about that. So people are very generous to us because, for example, Arthur's the pub, they let us use upstairs, and I can't remember the name of the hotel in Francis Street. They let us use a room there. So nobody actually charged us anything, and a lot of it was just the power. I think people will be very, very generous when they know it's for charity. And so we were approaching people on the sense that, listen, this is a charity which does extremely good work, and the actors are all people from this charity. And I must say that all the people from RADE were incredibly committed to it and did a really good job. But one of the amazing things was that both sides now, because we wrote to them. I mean, I initiated the writing to it, and I thought, oh Jesus, I thought at first they were probably going to charge us maybe, like a mate's rate, hopefully, for both sides now, because it's a very famous song. And so I started it off, and then Mo finished it. And in the end, they gave it to us for free, which was absolutely incredible. And I think in the film, it's very sort of emotional, it's extremely well done. But a lot of the problems was things like, I know I had to get a wheelbarrow at one point, which wasn't used.
Yeah.
The
wonders of film.
Film. And then also, because I live in Crumlin, so it's all my Crumlin connections. Okay. Also there was a drone which was used at one point as well, but we didn't sort of use all that footage. But that's actually part of filmmaking, that you're always going to shoot a lot more scenes than you use. But I think the main thing is that people were, you have to ask permission for people, but there's a lot of people who are incredibly kind and helpful to us and did not charge us. So that's what was fantastic about it. But it was difficult, I think, filming just around that part of Dublin, simply because it's a very busy part of Dublin. So I remember the bit where you're in the alleyway, and just me trying to stop people filming. Like, you don't mind people coming along and having a look for a minute or two, but there's one woman and she was like videoing everything. I was trying to stop her, but in a nice way. And the thing is, in the end, you can't be too nice. You know what I mean? So you have to say, excuse me, can you please stop?
Yeah, sometimes I think a boom mic on a street is just like a magnet.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so that's what. So most people were fine. Most people were a bit kind of nosy and want to know what's going on. And okay, when is it going to be on telly? There was that question.
Good question. When is it going to be on telly? Yeah, exactly. You should tell them to ask RTE that.
Yeah. But I think it's because there's a lot of exterior shots that, once you get exterior shots and you're on a busy street, that's, that can be a bit problematic, And then there's no problem with the house, because that's my house. So there's no problem with permissions whatsoever, And it's cheap.
There were a lot of familiar faces in that house. I see some of them here. Hands up, those people in the house. Yes, yeah, well done to all of you as well. So, film needs those additional actors as
well.
And
Lou over here was the art director, art and costume
designer. Yeah.
She did a really good job.
Well done.
Yeah. Okay. And also, just want to say, Conor. Conor was in the back of a moving car.
I was wondering about that shot. Yeah, where the child was running on.
He was brilliant, wasn't he? Yeah. And then the bit with the Sherry Trifle, I can't remember, there's a glass plate, wasn't there?
That's
Yeah.
my fridge.
Last play.
Yeah.
I think we had it like in a box or something, I'm not quite sure. But
Yeah.
it was like propped up over me and
Yeah.
then I had the camera. Something through the Sherry Trifle on the glass.
Lovely. They say it takes a village to make a film, and definitely that's true here. And really, it's Dublin 8, isn't it? And you RADE, are you based in Dublin 8?
Yeah, Dublin 8, yeah.
That's great that you you made it a very community event. I mean, it's very much, it's all the liberties there, and yeah, it's lovely. Like, how embedded are you in the community? Are you,
Very connected to the community. Like, as I said, we've been there since 2004, and we're always trying to engage with the community, bring people in, and yeah, we're just kind of very connected.
So, Natalie, it looked like you ran a marathon with that trifle.
You ran for days.
Yeah, it is. It was. I remember I kept saying, like, one more time, I always one more time, I was like, oh my God, I was sweating, I was already out treating, and like, I was waiting to get more weight than now, and oh my God, yeah, it was a nightmare. And then with that jacket, and I was sweating.
We did great. Like,
Yeah, that was method acting. Oh yeah, more yeah. Go for it.
as well that like you're so
Dedicated. It was really like they were more than professional actors. They were amazing when you turned up, and like Natalie, you always ran. Whenever I said one more, you go, all right, okay, and I do a million takes. I've made loads of material so that I can edit to my heart's content, whatever. But you're really a phenomenal performer, and when you commit to something, when you say you're going to do something, you do it 110%. And especially in the last scene with the mother, so that was just it's a massive scene for an actor, when she comes in with the Sherry Trifle, it's huge. And like the vulnerability, the expense of that vulnerability in front of other people that you don't know is just massive. So the weight of it on your shoulders, and she'd never acted before. And I remember I could see her, and she was kind of keeping to herself, and she was talking to me about, all these character kind of, you became like a totally complete professional actor. And I was like, oh, I could feel her energy. She was just really pent up, and she was like, I want to do this, I want to do that. And so we went for a rehearsal, and everyone, all the extras, Savannah, Tom, everyone, we all just went, wow. And I was like, okay, get cameras on this, let's get going really quickly, because I didn't want to lose it. And then we got the magic, and it's down to you, Natalie. I just want you to know that, and Shell did a phenomenal job. You're all just wonderful artists, and it's all in there, and you just keep going, keep believing in yourselves, and don't be so hard on yourselves. Natalie's very hard on herself, but you're just phenomenal, and just remember, when you commit to something, you can do anything.
I just want to say something, because the thing about making films is there's always things which go wrong, or people who whatever can't turn up. And there was a young boy who was supposed to be acting and didn't happen. And I can't remember, it was only like a couple of days before we were actually filming that we managed to get the two children who were actually brother and sister. Right? So it was just sort of perfect that they came along, and for them it was just a lot of fun, that their mother was really, really pleased about that. So it's one who played the young boy who was running along, and then who played Bertha as a little girl as well. So sometimes if, it's one of those things that even if something kind of seemingly appears to go wrong, then you'll end up getting the right people for it.
Yeah, seeing the children in it is fantastic as well. I think children really make the whole thing, and they just enter into the spirit of it. Taught so much. Like, I remember my own daughter, I actually put her as an extra. It was a 1916 film, and she was an extra in the background. They had to loot a shop full of sweets. And we're on the way back in the car, and she said, Dad, how much did you have to pay them for me to do that today? And I said, you're actually going to be paid for that. You get paid. She couldn't believe it. So I love that kind of spirit. That's fantastic. So the actors. So Mo was actually leading on to my next question. What's your next project? Because I hope you do have the next project. Natalie, you need to get into acting. You need to go for it. So, what would you like to play next? What's your dream role if you could have any?
I don't know. No.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes.
If Mo asks me, I won't get it.
Great. And Mo will ask you. So, absolutely. And the lovely thing about it, it's an inspiration to your daughter as well. It's just lovely to see that. You know. But what kind of films do you like? What would you like to play? What kind of roles would you like to play? Put it out there. Put it out there into the universe and it'll come to you.
I don't know. True, I don't know.
Do you like comedy? Or is it kind of... Well, yeah, between the both of you. Do you like comedy? Or would romantic comedy? Or would it be...
No, more like a true story, like things like, something, not like that, but you know what I mean, something like,
Something you relate to.
And did you enjoy the whole experience because it was something you could relate to specifically? Yeah.
I think with the little kid, I know it's mostly me, but it's like, I was imagining it being, I don't know, my daughter, and that's why it was so, it's just, yeah. But so well I done it now, thanks, Mom.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it's just first of many. And yourself?
Yeah.
What's your dream role?
No, I'll take the camera. The camera loves me. No, I don't know. Like, in terms of role, I don't know if like acting is really for me, but like I loved it. I loved the experience. Loved the experience. I would probably do it again if I got the opportunity, you know. But those kind of opportunities don't really come your way all the time. You know what I mean? So that's why I think being in RADE, to have that opportunity to do something like this is just like remarkable. So yeah, I'd act again, no problem. You know, I enjoyed being behind the camera, and it's an opportunity to express yourself. You know, and when you're, I suppose as an actor, and this is the beauty of having done the film, is because you got to see how they make the films, and it really gives me. When I'm watching films now, like it's more. I have a different kind of view to watching films from having played in one, you know, which is great. So yeah, like I would love to get into it, but it's just whether it comes my way or not.
We're going to just talk to RADE and then we're going to go to the floor for a question or two, but one last one from just about RADE in particular. So I think we all know somebody who's struggling with addiction. You know, it's so common. How could they approach you? How do they join up? How do they take part in something as fantastic as this?
Yes, so we're always recruiting. Probably the best way would just be to call us up if you go on our website, contact us, and we take referrals through doctors, key workers, or self-referral. If you just contact us, we'll help get sorted. But like for anybody who's interested in collaborating with us, even just learning about us, like we're niche, you know, we love to share the story of how creativity can really support people in addiction, so just reach out to us. Yeah, we're very collaborative.
That's great. You do fantastic work, and you know, it's great, the collaboration, you know, the whole collaboration. So, questions on the floor? For the panel? No? So it's Lou.
Hi, guys, well done. You're fantastic. You really were. It was brilliant to watch the film finished. I just wanted to ask you how you feel yourselves after having done the film. How has it changed things for you, or how you look at yourself? Well, confidence-wise, it's certainly an awful lot. It really has. Like, I've been sitting up here. I was like, there's no way I'm doing this. So yeah, it's just getting out there and doing it right. Yeah. Like, not long in recovery, like I'll be here in recovery, and just part of me.
I think that deserves a round of applause. Absolutely. I'm proud of you, and I wasn't really expecting this, so I'm getting a bit emotional because I've known people who were in addiction for their entire life. They never went into recovery, so well done. Well done.
anything like that, but it definitely has given me a more of an idea in terms of self-expression, and knowing that I can express myself in so many different ways, which is really what filming is about. Really, it's this opportunity to discover parts of yourself you never knew were there, and that's what really that's what it did for me anyway. So that's.
One last question. Question.
Is there a burning question? Yeah, okay, then back. Hello.
So you may have answered this question here. You did. Who did the art? Who did the actual paintings?
Oh, it was Claire Prevost. She's my next door neighbour. So actually, she's quite famous French artist living in Dublin, and she actually sells her stuff in Gemmer Factory, and she does like loads of what do you call them? Not logos on walls. What do you call murals? All over Dublin. So you probably recognise her art. But yeah, it was just a sketch. I said, "Do you have anything?" And I said, "It would be great if it was like Mother Dora." And she had this Venus, Mother Dora. I think that's amazing.
Okay, so thank you to all the panel. That was really lovely. Thank you, and RADE and everybody else who contributed to this, Mo and everybody who contributed to this project. Thank you so much. It's a fantastic thing to see. So well done, everybody. Give them a round of applause.